women YouTubers in the influencing space, they tend to see like a increase in their audience, subscribers and engagement when generally they get in a relationship, and also when their partners are shown on their platform. Sometimes in society, women are not made to feel like they are complete until they have reached the status of the missus. I actually remember somebody commenting on, I think, one of the first Journey to Forever vlogs. I found him a bit cheeky, I won't lie. I found a comment saying, oh, you finally have the love that you've always wanted. Maybe you can finally blow. And I was like, hi guys, welcome to the Mo Chunk Show and welcome to another installment of Chit Chat with Mo, where we have controversial debates, honest conversation, incredible guest stories and so much more. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about something that I've kind of had in my mind for a while based on like my personal experiences, things that I've seen, you know, other like influencers and YouTubers and hyper visible persons kind of go through. It's not like a huge thing, but I've kind of just noticed how, you know, things move and how things kind of happen on the influencer sphere, if that's a real word. And as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about when influencers get booed up. And I kind of had this in mind when I kind of noticed some changes happening on my channel, when, you know, I started dropping hints that I had a partner. Also how I've seen the audiences of other YouTubers kind of react to them getting in a relationship. So let's get into this, let's break this down. I've kind of noticed over the years how things change when, you know, your fave influencer, your fave content creator, YouTuber, etc. get in a relationship. I've noticed that in some cases their followers go up. I've noticed that, you know, in some cases people want to pay more attention to their lives because they have a significant other. I've noticed that, for example, if you were to be a lifestyle vlogger and on a regular basis, you know, you have your followership and people that follow your content, the minute you have your bae in that vlog or you have your bae in that video or whatever it is, there seems to be a greater rush of your audiences or your subscribers wanting to pay attention to that piece of content. I've also noticed, because I tend to do like, you know, talky videos, you know, any video about relationships, boom, it does really amazingly. And I recently had, you know, an amazing life event in my life. I got married to my partner and, you know, I did a series called Journey to Forever, and that was like a vlog series depicting the wedding planning process. And with Chile, I saw the jump in how many people were paying attention to my vlogs. And there's many things that could be placed down to weddings are really exciting to plan, but it could also be that whole onus of being in a relationship. I was really trying to find the tweets, but I remember seeing a YouTuber, I have a feeling it was Grace Victory at the time. I remember seeing a YouTuber saying how she's noticed that especially women in the influencing space, women YouTubers in the influencing space, they tend to see like a increase in their audience, subscribers and engagement when generally they get in a relationship, and also when their partners are shown on their platform. And then I started to notice when I did my Journey to Forever vlogs, like on a normal day, a good vlog would get like 3,000 views. When I started doing Journey to Forever, without a doubt, back to back, I was getting like at least 5,000 views on my videos. Some of them reached like 7 and then 10k, and of course the wedding video itself. And I thought, rah. And I remember saying to my partner at the time, like, I'm really scared. Like, how many of us were scared? I was really scared. I was really scared because I was like, okay, so Journey to Forever is over now, and I personally am actually a super private person, and I said to myself, married life itself, I would like to keep to myself, of course. Special occasions like Christmas and Valentine's or whatever, we can share those little moments. But in terms of the everyday married life, I said to myself I would really love to keep that private. And I know they're coming, a lot of these people are coming to my channel because they're either interested in wedding or relationship or potentially see my partner. So when it goes back to the focus just being on myself, I said to my partner, I'm scared I'm going to lose that engagement that I've enjoyed so much. And lo and behold, like, there was a dip. And when it's like gone back to just being Mo Chunks, as in a vlog around my lifestyle, and I found that really interesting. Again, like I said, Journey to Forever could be placed on there could be different factors. That one wasn't just relationship, that was also a wedding series. But I have noticed even before my wedding series, anytime I would do a video about my partner, for example our anniversary vlog, I would see like a huge vlog. And I found that really interesting. I actually remember somebody commenting on, I think, one of the first Journey to Forever vlogs. I found him a bit cheeky, I won't lie. I found a comment saying, oh, you finally have the love that you've always wanted. Maybe you can finally blow. And I was like, hold on. I'm sharing a wedding planning process just because I'm someone that's very passionate about media and purposeful in teaching. Like, I like to teach people things and help them through their processes if they were to go through something similar. So I found it interesting as well, or ironic, that this person had never commented on any of my videos except for one, yes, you guessed it, about my relationship, about wedding planning. So I found it really ironic that this person was attempting to shame me or trying to make it seem like I was using my relationship to get attention, whereas they only paid me attention enough to comment on a video about relationships and wedding planning. So it made me, question, is it me or you that's obsessed with relationships? Because you don't usually, on a normal day, you don't usually come to my page. So it made me think, and a lot of the points that I've kind of made as I was writing the notes for this episode, what are the reasons that, especially when it comes to women, when they're in relationships, they tend to gain more traction, they tend to gain more followership, more engagement. What are those factors that makes people more attracted to them as opposed to them as an individual? Before I go into that, I would say that in my personal experience, I've personally seen the increase, topics about my partner, relationship, wedding, seen the dip after going back to just myself. Although I did see like a slight increase post Journey to Forever. So like, I saw like a slight increase, but it still wasn't as much as when I was doing Journey to Forever. So I've personally had to resist the temptation to continually depict my relationship on the YouTube sphere, if that makes sense. So like any sane person in a business, if you're seeing something that is going to increase your followership, you're going to be like, right, let me key into this a bit more. But I had to resist that temptation because I said to myself before doing the Journey to Forever series that married life itself, I would like to keep it private. So in a sense, I've had to honor my own personal conviction in that sense and focus on it just being me as an individual and keep my content about myself and my interests with, Bay sprinkled in there occasionally. I'm not saying that I just completely wiped him off because he is a part of my life, but I had to resist that temptation to be that YouTuber that now you see their partner's face everywhere. And in some cases some people genuinely just want to share, but in some cases I know some content creators are keen into that attention that they're seeing and they're saying, ooh, more money, let me, Now, let's go into some of the things that I kind of thought, adds to why is it that this kind of happens when influencers get booed up. I would say the biggest thing that I've noticed, and of course, like, I'm part of this as well, I'm not exempt from societal pressures or societal norms. I would say that I've noticed that we love, we love companionship, we love the idea of people finding their forever love and being with their personal person. I would say that I've noticed that there is that initial joy. I do think people are genuinely joyful and happy for you when you find your significant other, especially for someone like me who's like shared many like heartbreak stories prior to my husband, shared many like heartbreaking stories. And I remember like even, you know, before he arrived, I kind of prayed to God and said, you know, I don't want to do this kind of videos anymore. I want to tell a different story. And I praise God for honoring that prayer. So there's that element of it. People are genuinely really happy for you, but I also think people love love, people love companionship. And you know, I've kind of noticed, you know, even beyond love and relationships, I think the people that people pay the most attention to online tend to be people that have things that either you want for yourself or the things that you haven't quite yet been able to manifest. So for example, you see people, you know, into all of the rich girl luxury lifestyle now, and it's like an aspiration, you want to get there. So I would say that perhaps that's part of it, that, you know, you want people that are watching, they want that for themselves. You know, I think we're wired to want community as human beings. None of us are an island. We're meant to be in partnership and community with people, of course, we've placed romantic love, I think, in society above any other kind of love. So that could be perhaps that, you know, the innocent wanting a companionship. But then I think there's, on the other side, there's also a low-key obsession with love and relationships. So much so that we become a bit obsessive with the relationships of our faves online as well. So much so that we no longer care about them. You know, we've watched you for X amount of years or whatever, and we loved your content, but now we want to see him. We want to see you guys together. So that's kind of like a scary place to be as the person who's receiving all the data about what kind of content is doing well. Another point that I had here as well is that, is it perhaps because the majority of people that watch content online tends to be women? I don't know about you guys, but my demographics is higher women than men. And is that a thing because, you know, society has kind of conditioned women to want relationships and want that long-term partner, sometimes above everything else, sometimes above their career, sometimes above their goals. Sometimes in society, women are not made to feel like they are complete until they have reached the status of the missus. So maybe that could be it as well. Like I said, I've had to resist the temptation to make my partner the centerfold of my content. And you know, you have a lot of people, like I said, that do that. They get married and they start a couple's YouTube straight away. I was even reading an article of like the top types of influencers, and couple YouTubers are up there. And you know, never say never. I don't know what can change, but right now my mindset is keep my marriage as private as possible, and kind of grow together. And maybe when we're like 50 years down the line, shed words of wisdom in retrospect rather than as we're going. For me, one of the biggest reasons why I've decided not to make my relationship like the centerfold of all I do is that I'm a whole lot of woman. Like, I am really brilliant. Like, and I've got into a stage now where I'm leaning into my brilliance. It would be a shame if being in a relationship became the only reason or the most important reason or the highest reason as to why people watch me or as to why people come to my content and come to my page. They're going to miss out on so much brilliance. And over the years, as this platform has evolved, I've seen that happen. But it's like you're missing out on the actual brilliance of who this woman is. And I think that's the scary place that a lot of influencers find themselves in, especially where like we've seen some of them, they've grown their subscribership and their audience with their relationship, and then, you know, God forbid, in some cases, some people have lost their partners and they've had to now go away and rediscover themselves. It would be a shame to lose that. Yeah, I would say that sometimes it's your audience that makes it all about that more than you're making it all about that. But I think as a woman, you have to be so much more intentional about not making your partner the face of your content. Am I making sense? To the audience, am I making sense? But yeah, like I just had all of those different thoughts about, you know, when influencers get booed up, how your audience reacts, and the temptation to kind of make that your bag. making your relationship your bag. And I feel like that in some instances can put pressures on your relationship as well, where you're trying to churn out content. You might not even be speaking to your partner that day. I remember it was Team Swordwell that were saying there was one video they put out and you would have never known. They literally argued before the video. So imagine that kind of strain on your relationship, trying to like constantly churn out content around the two of you, or constantly put your partner's face all over when, you know, behind the scenes things aren't going so great. That would be a shame. I think the biggest thing for me has been I'm way too brilliant to distract from my brilliance with something that I know most audiences are obsessed with. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes, you know, we complain about the style of content that we see online, but it's like, what kind of content are you paying attention to? Because trust me, the creators on this side are paying attention to the algorithm, they're paying attention to the stats, and it might make us change how we do things in certain ways. But it takes a lot of integrity, I would say, to stick to your guns, stick to your conviction, regardless of the trends and how your audiences are reacting to that. When you're still a growing YouTuber, it can be very tempting to use your relationship to blow. But what that does is that it actually limits your growth, because then they won't be interested in anything else you've got to offer. You're kind of conditioning your audience to see you and want you for that and only that, when you've got so much, and I personally have so much to give. I wouldn't want it to like limit my growth in that sense. I would like to grow because of my brilliance and not my relationship. Okay, let's throw it back to you guys now. Have you noticed your favorite YouTubers, influencers, content creators, when they get into a relationship, do you see a difference in the number of their subscribers? Do you see a difference in the engagement of their content? Do you see people paying more attention when their partner's faces are on their socials? Why is that? What are the reasons that you think make people pay more attention to YouTubers, especially women in the YouTube space, women in the influencing space, when they get engaged, when they marry, when they get in a relationship? What are the reasons that you think that happens? And also, if you are a YouTuber or a content creator, let me know in the comments. Have you ever gotten in a relationship and been tempted to make your relationship your bag in terms of your styles of content? Has anybody done that and regretted it? Let me know in the comment section down below. And also to you guys, the audience, how did you discover your favorite YouTubers? Was it through their relationship content, or was it through stuff that they were actually putting out in terms of their personal interests? Because I think sometimes we can go on and cuss, especially like Christian couples, and say that, oh, Christian couples, as soon as they get married, next thing is YouTube. But can you really blame them if you're showing them that that's the kind of style of content that you're going to indefinitely pay attention to? Because I remember when I was releasing my Journey to Forever vlogs, I didn't have to worry. I'll just post it. You know, my other vlogs, I'll be thinking, oh, will this get attention? But them, I knew you guys were going to be there. I knew you're going to be there without a fail. Have you been guilty of paying more attention to your fave YouTubers' engagement and marriage? And why do you think that is? Challenge yourself a little bit. I think there's so many layers to this conversation, and I would really love to hear from you guys. Oh, crew. And that's all I really have today in terms of Chit Chat with Mo. Do make sure that if you liked it, share it with your friends. Comment below on the things we spoke about. I would really love to hear from you guys, and subscribe to this channel for more. Until next time, guys, peace and love. Peace and chunks.
Chunks of life, chunks of fashion, chunks of entertainment, chunks of relationship.